It started out with me being nuts. Then my nuts rubbed off on you, and then you all of a sudden just went.
Whoa! I don't like that. That sounds
okay.
a little.
Am I crazy? How about that? You like that better? What's happening, YouTube? You're in the building with the original members of the Life Gang Avengers of Current Culture. Is me. It's the living legend, Larry. And all this white crap you see on my cuts for the sluts, man. I mean, look at them shoulders. Look at them. Boy, that stuff is coming in nice. Anyway.
What Baby L spit up on you?
Yeah, we having to give her this medicine that she hates. And this chick done learn how to spit. She's like, I don't care what y'all do. I ain't taking that medicine to her. That's what she did. We got the syringe all in her mouth. And she crying. She kicking and screaming. We sit her up. We think she don't swallow it. She looks at my shirt. To her. I was like, what in the hell? This little girl. She's too smart. She's too smart for her own good, man. I'm telling you. This chick.
No, she's just smart enough.
This chick is gonna be, she might be the first African-American female on Mars. She just might be. This chick is something else, man. She can pick up 10 pounds and she don't even weigh 20 pounds. She already scooping up dumbbells in the house.
Oh, bro. I like it.
Bro.
I like it.
So
she's gonna be like an ant. She's gonna be able to pick up like 10 times her body weight.
Exactly. What's happening to my people out there watching us? Alex, my brother, congratulations on that graduation, man. Keep your eyes on the prize, and we're gonna be here for you. Marcus from VA, Key Malik been sticking with us for a hot minute. And ladies and gentlemen, let's give you the rundown today. So
wait, before we get going, where did Alex graduate? Did he graduate high school or college?
High school.
Or what?
High school. Graduate high school.
All right, big ups to Alex. I like that. Shout out.
Yeah, man. We influencing young brothers the right direction already. We got this, baby.
Where are you going after this, Alex? You put in the comments. You going to college? And if you are, where are you going? All that good stuff.
Yeah, he hit me up, man. He hit me on the gram. And anybody that want to follow me on the gram, it's Life Gains on the gram. And if you're one of these people who said that you're tired of giving us super chats because you know that YouTube takes a cut of it, right there where you see my name, that's my Cash App. $ Life Gain. That's how you get to me on Cash App if you guys want to do it. Be More Careful is in the building. Mike Willie is in the building.
Mike Willie.
So y'all know this is our Wednesday kind of free-for-all show where we talk about current events. We talk about politics. We talk about stocks. You know, we just do a bevy of things to help empower you all while we entertain you. And D Weed done came through already with the
came through early,
getting the party started. Let's give this man something to say thank you with, Larry. Let me give him this one.
Guess whose turn it is? White people. Let's see what direction they go in. Halle Berry is still available, as is Mariah Carey's crazy ass.
I always wanted to say this. For shizzle.
We, the Jewish people, take Lenny Kravitz.
The Chinese delegation pulling a fast one and choosing the entire Wu-Tang Clan.
Brooklyn!
Now we done got Mike Willie in the building.
Mike Willie coming through.
Something. Let's stay in the same theme of racialness.
I like it.
What, you don't think I can write them books? Just because I'm blind don't mean I'm dumb.
How could this have happened? A black white supremacist.
Show us your face. We want to see your face. Who said that? You want to see my face? Clayton, go on, brother.
He was the only Negro we'd ever had around here. So we figured we'd make it easier on Clayton by just telling him and all the other blind kids that he was white.
Don't be afraid. What, you don't think I can?
I love that when dude's head explodes.
I appreciate that, Mike Willie. But Larry, the sad thing is these black Republicans, your Herman Cains, your Tim Scotts, do they not know that these guys go behind closed doors and do the same exact thing behind their black asses? I guess they don't know that, but we know because I've been in this place. Oh man,
703 coming through.
Coming
I like
through.
that.
Now let me see.
Oh, Will Lawrence coming. Man, they're coming strong tonight.
Okay, Will Lawrence and Buzz, these two are going to be for you guys. Y'all hold us down. Y'all my old school crew. I'll give you this one because I know Larry's going to like it too.
Yeah, go ahead and burn all that.
My king, we cannot do that. It is our tradition.
When I tell you to do something, I mean that shit. Burn it all!
Ain't nothing. Ain't nothing.
The true and rightful ruler of Wakanda.
Ain't nothing. Will and Buzz, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. I'm grateful. You guys and this audience keep us going, and those super chats do us fine. And let me give you guys what we're going to do on the show today. Mary J. Blige has got a documentary coming out on Amazon. I've got the trailer. I don't know if y'all going to be interested, but we'll take a look at it. Omar Hardwick, y'all know him, famous from Power. He's spreading his wings, not getting pigeonholed into one character, and is getting ready to do a sci-fi movie with the lovely, lovely Halle Berry.
What?
Halle. He rubbing shoulders with the Oscar winners. Now that brother about to blow up. I just want to see him get in Marvel at some point in time. Then, Larry, people want us to talk about the meme stocks. They want us to talk about AMC going to the moon. It doubled in one day today. And we're going to talk about that.
That's just crazy.
And ladies and gentlemen, yes, we do have to talk about the state of democracy in America, something that Anglos created, and now they want to destroy it and turn us into a dictatorship.
First of all, we must know our history properly. Anglos did not create democracy
in America.
It was okay. Well, they took it from someplace else and brought it to America.
Right,
yes,
in America. I'm speaking strictly American history.
All right.
They started that, and now they want to turn us into a dictatorship with all these voting restriction laws. And Texas is the latest in a long line of hits, so we got to talk about them. And then, ladies and gentlemen, they all are. And then, ladies and gentlemen, something that might make you laugh, it might make you cry. How would you like to be arguing with your spouse on a balcony and the shit just collapsed? She does a triple back flip mount, lands right on her head, and the husband lands face first too from a balcony because y'all argue.
Wow.
So, Larry, where do we start? Where you want to go at first? I give you options. Do you want to see the couple that fed? Oh, one more thing. We also have a comedian that went nuts and beat up one of his fans while he was performing. I got that footage for y'all too. So, Larry, yeah, man. Yeah. I got it all, man. I got it all. Where you want to start, Larry? Maury Hardwick.
I feel like we should just get this ass whooping out the way.
Okay. So Larry wants to see the comedic ass whipping that just happened the other day, and it's with the big homie DC Young Fly. Take a look at this, my people. Sit back and we'll discuss it and break it down.
You are free.
He must have hit him quick because I didn't even see it.
Well, I was gonna say, Larry, they didn't show us the knockout. Okay, they didn't show us the knockout. But I'm sure DC Young Fly he's probably amped because you saw what he said at the end about he's been stabbed, he's been traumatized, all that. But ladies and gentlemen, there's a deeper subtext here. Let me break it down for y'all. I don't know if any of y'all watch the NBA. Oh, yeah. Oh, Mike Willie said, guess that guy was really the punchline. See, you got jokes, Mike Willie. Mike Willie got jokes. Boy, Mike, this show ain't got enough room but for two people to have all the jokes. No, I'm playing, man.
Oh, man.
But anyway.
I guess DC Fly really knocked it out. You know?
Hey, man.
His jokes were killing.
He was killing. He broke a leg for real while he was on stage. Yeah. Talk about break a leg. But anyway, people, if you follow the NBA, a lot of people have been getting out of pocket toward the players. And it's racial. All this shit is racial. Spitting on players, throwing water bottles at players, calling them the N-word, throwing
dumping
stuff at them.
Popcorn on them.
Dumping popcorn on Russell Westbrook. And it's just pure, unadulterated disrespect. And Larry, you know I'm going to blame this right on President Trump for getting these people riled up to the point where they think they about it now. They really
they don't realize that you can get touched. Like you can talk all that smack when you're online. You can get up on Parler and talk all that craziness. But when you take it into the real world, there's real world consequences.
Exactly. And I feel like, DC Young Fly has seen these attacks. And I don't know if the person in this situation was white or not because he got knocked out so fast. He hit him and must have punched him in the Ant-Man from the Avengers. He just said, phew, shrunk. Like, what the hell happened?
You went subatomic.
But Larry, put yourself in the situation of being on stage. Your bodyguards aren't there and somebody's able. Because that looked like that was more like a restaurant bar. That didn't look like your main arena because the fans were so close. If you was a comic and somebody tried to rush the stage, what would you have done?
Oh, he would have got touched, no doubt. Dude would have got touched. And it looked like a typical sort of comedy club where it's small, it's intimate, the people are right there, and right in front of the comedians where somebody, if they're not acting right, they can very easily jump up on stage and try and get at you. Mm-hmm. And so, we've been seeing all these reports. We saw a report of that woman, that flight attendant on Southwest who got 2 of her teeth knocked out because some crazy Karen went and punched her in the mouth a bunch of times. We've been seeing all kinds of stuff where people have literally lost their minds. They've been locked up. They've lost their social skills because they haven't been dealing with other people on a regular basis. Mm-hmm. Some of it is with Donald Trump up there gassing these people up, making them think that they can go out there and say and do anything without any consequences. Yeah. And they have to remember, like, they may be thinking, oh, I'm special, I'm white, the law is not going to get me. You don't need to worry about the law. What you need to worry about is that individual right in front of you that may put a hole in your body,
Or they're going to give you that 2-piece and a biscuit.
Yeah. So I think it's just a lot of people out there now that have lost their social skills and they need to get them back. Right. And some people are just, we're in a very divisive, time in this country right now. And a lot of people are just out there saying and doing whatever they feel like they want to do. And that doesn't play well with everyone. Like dude said, he's from the streets and he stays ready just in case. And dude tested him and he got touched.
Yeah. Nothing else to say on that one, Seth. Go check out DC Young Fly. I caught him in Greensboro. Dude is hella funny and he's approachable. So I had a chance to see him and get close to him. So I'm assuming that whoever rushed the stage must have really been threatening because DC Young Fly is very approachable.
And I will say this: if you go to a comedy club, unless you just want to get filleted, don't go up there trying to don't try and mess with the comics. Don't get up there and try and what do they call it? Don't try and heckle them because I can tell you right now, first of all, they have a microphone. And you don't.
Right.
And next, their career, their whole job is to be funny. Mm-hmm. And yours isn't. Your job is probably to go and be an accountant or deliver packages off of a truck or teach school or something. You are doing something else besides making people laugh. And the last thing you want to do is come at a comedian in his space, in his time, while he has a microphone. You will get clowned, and unless that's just what you're looking for, I would just go ahead and laugh and keep the jokes rolling.
I'll say this. I've been known to sit in the front row. I don't heckle unless you heckle me first. And I ain't scared to pick on no comedian. I done got into it with DL Hewley. Now, me and him, we good. It wasn't like we got into it on some I hate you, you hate me. But we got into a back and forth about jokes. He was talking about my shoes and I was talking about his hair. And he thought it was funny. I mean, he to the point where he kind of got choked up on stage. And then afterwards, you know, he came and dapped me up. And then he got the last word in because, like you said, my Larry, he got the mic. So of course he got the last word in. But I had him laughing. So it is what it is. Check out DC Young Fly. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, Larry's channel. You can shoot me a cash app at $Life Gains if you don't want to super chat. And you can super chat. Larry, where we going to go at next? You want to go Halle Berry or Mary J. Blige documentary?
You know, let's go with Mary J. I love me some Halle Berry, but you know, sometimes there's something to be said for delayed gratification.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know the women love that. Here we go, ladies. Amazon is doing a documentary with Mary J. Blige, a more in-depth documentary than what you've seen before. Let's take a look at the trailer and let's see if it's going to give us something we haven't seen. Okay.
That looks like it'd be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out, man. I saw
good rock doc.
I saw one with Tina Turner that was surprisingly really, really good, but it was on HBO. It wasn't on Amazon. I'm gonna check it out. When I hear Mary J. Blige, it reminds me of my middle school, high school days when I had her and Lauryn Hill kind of rocking in that same era. And I can recall that women loved Mary J. Blige because they felt like anytime she would go through something in her relationships with men, that they was going to get a good album after that, after she was able to write some of those songs out. And so she's a hood legend. She goes on to do more than just be a hood legend. Like I said, she's won all these Grammys. And I think that people will be able to relate to her story. And if she's going to get into the nitty gritty of some of the mental abuse, the physical abuse she dealt with some of those boyfriends and husbands, it's going to be a teaching moment. So yeah, I'm going to see it. I'll probably watch it the first day it come out. Big Larry, what you think?
Yeah, man, I'm gonna watch it and check it out. It seems like it's gonna be good. I like music documentaries. They're always fun, and you get to see stuff you didn't know about the artist that you like. And Mary J. Blige has, at least as far as I've known, she seems like she's had an interesting life, and she doesn't always seem to talk a whole. I mean, she talks about it in her music, but I don't feel like I see a lot of interviews and stuff with her talking about, you know, the sort of intimate parts of her life. So I know that she's had some drug issues and some relationship issues, and I've just never understood these dudes. You get a chick like Mary J. Blige and you want to F that up? Like, why? What are you thinking?
Larry, dudes is human too, man. Sometimes you get relaxed. Sometimes you get complacent. Sometimes
but these dudes are getting ignorant, man, putting hands on people and being mean. I'm like,
you can't do that. You shouldn't be doing that to nobody, technically.
Right.
But let alone the person that y'all live in the same sanctuary together. It's supposed to be a sanctuary to get away from the outside world doing these things to you. And then you got to come home and deal with that. You know, and I think that I know a little bit of her story, and she might get into how, you know, it starts out as verbal abuse, then it turns into physical abuse. But the thing that keeps you crippled is the verbal and emotional abuse that, you know, keeps you crippled more than the physical abuse because you feel like you can't get away. So I think that she can portray that story through this documentary. I think it'll be good. And I'm going to give a recommendation too, Larry. If you haven't seen the Teddy Pendergrass documentary, I highly recommend it. I mean, that thing is great. Like Larry said, these music documentaries can be real good. And those two I recommend, Mary J. Blige. We will be checking you out because we get to see a better side of you than what we see on Power Book 2. Oops.
Right?
Oh, man. I ain't mean to let that. I don't know what I'm saying. Never mind me, Mary J. I love you, my sweet rock switcher. Shout out to Moochella. Shout out to Nathan. Shout out to Strictly Starlight, who be coming in here dropping the gems on us. And Larry, what you want next? Do you want Let me see what else we got in here.
Well, I was going to tell everybody if you're looking for a good music documentary to watch, it's a couple years old now, but check out a music documentary called "Waiting for Sugar Man." Searching. I think it's "Searching for Sugar Man."
What's that about? Who's that about?
It is about this. It's about this singer. I believe he lives in Detroit now, but he's a singer, and he made this album that basically did nothing in the U.S. It went double wood, but
damn.
Oddly enough, his album was a huge.
Larry, you can't say this funny stuff and then keep talking. It went double wood. Was he starring in a porn movie or something? It went double wood. What? Come on, man.
he did his album did basically nothing. But the odd thing about it is that his album was like a huge, remarkable success in South Africa during the apartheid era. And he was sort of like the voice of a generation for these white kids that were anti-apartheid. And so he was like their voice of that time. And he didn't even know he had hit records over there. No one knew who he was. They didn't know if people thought he was dead. They were like, I think he's dead. And so there is these DJs and this record shop owner dudes. They decided they were going to go look for him. And so that's where the thing's called Searching for Sugar Man. They went and found him. And I don't want to give any more away, but I've given enough away with the whole Searching for Sugar Man, but I feel like it's not given away entirely. But if you haven't seen it, it is absolutely one of the best documentaries, period. It is a fantastic music documentary. And it won an Oscar a couple of years ago for best documentary, but it is truly wonderful. Check it out.
Okay. I like that. So Larry, where you want to go? Politics, stocks, Omar Hardwick, Halle Berry, couples fighting, and then the balcony collapse on them. Where you want to go? Where can we go?
Yeah, let's see. Let's go with let's go with the couple fighting, and then I'll cleanse my palate and get Halle Berry up under me.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, some people are calling this karma. Some people are saying Russia's getting some get back. I don't know about all that. But there was a couple that came on a balcony. They had a skirmish. And next thing you know, things got a shaking, asses got a quaking, and it tumbles off the balcony. Take a look at this. If you're squeamish, you might want to look away because hind parts is about to be shown while this lady is tumbling. Here we go.
This is the dramatic moment when a couple lined up on their second floor balcony crashed through the railings and crashed onto the sidewalk below. The 7-second clip shows Olga Volkova and Yevgeny Karlagin, both 35, appearing to be in a fight on the floor of the balcony of their home in St. Petersburg, Russia. In the footage captured by a passerby, the couple is suddenly tossed down the railing before bumping into the concrete below. They were taken to hospital with serious injuries, although they are not believed to be life-threatening. Witnesses said the couple, who share a young son, had an argument on the balcony around 10 a.m. on Saturday. While the couple's husband was dressed, the woman fell to the floor in her underwear with the cover wrapped around her. Local media said they had both broken limbs, but no lives were in danger.
Ah, God, her leg was all bent to the side and whatnot. Man.
Can you remind me never to argue with anybody on a balcony pushed up against the rail? You can forget that. All I can say is I hope they're okay because that fall. I mean, that chick did a tumble, and then her leg was, I don't know where her ankle went at because it just disappeared when she got on the ground. And I was sitting there, Larry, hoping like hell that table that fell off. I was like, please don't let the table hit him on top of that too.
Man, I know that was just an insult to injury.
Yeah, just insult to the injury. But Big Larry, what do you think about that, brother?
Man, I'll tell you right now, whoever owns that building, they need to go up there and replace all that metal because I'm assuming that all that metal was like brittle and rotted out and it just broke through. But man, they had that in slow motion that you could see the dude falling, putting his hand down like he was trying to break his fall. And part of me was thinking, don't do it. You're going to break your wrist and your arm. But then I was like, better breaking your wrist and your arm than breaking your spine if it hits first. So, man, I was like, I mean, luckily they weren't too high up because they could have been on like the 8th or 10th floor or something.
Yeah.
They probably would have been dead at that point. But man, I'll tell you one thing. You look at something like that and you realize just how, on one end, how fragile the human body is, and on the other end, how incredible durable it is. Because they hit hard as hell, man. They should be done for. And they're like, yeah, they have some broken limbs, but nothing's life-threatening.
I mean, Larry, gravity is just as undefeated as Father Time. It don't matter who you are. Gravity ain't playing with y'all long as you
Gravity is undefeated.
Undefeated, man. And
that sounds like a t-shirt.
Hey, it is, brother. And when I see stories like this, it gives me flashbacks to my freshman year at Shaw. And when I was at Shaw University, right before I withdrew from the school, the guy in the room next to us jumped from the window, and we was 8 stories. He survived for about 24 hours before he died because he had mental health issues back in 2000 when I was in college. And it wasn't a cool situation to talk about then. I don't know what he was going through, but he jumped from the 8th floor window. We sitting, me and my 3 roommates is sitting looking out the window because the girls' dorm was right at the thing. So we looking and we just see a human just tumble, and then we hear, and we look down, we like, the fuck? And
wow.
And but here's the weird thing from 8 stories, Larry. He stood up and then passed out, and that was it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That is crazy. That, it's funny. I saw another video just recently where there was I think it was in like Greece or somewhere in Europe, and there were people out there partying, and they were saying it was like I guess people have been vaccinated or something. They were all excited to get out and party. So there was probably like 30, 40 people on this balcony, and the whole balcony just dislodged from the side of the building. They were on a beach house, and the whole thing just collapsed and fell into the rocks down below. So luckily they weren't too high up, so it didn't look like people probably got killed, but it would look like something else. It looked scary.
Yeah, and Europe just unveiled a sky pool where it's a bridge that connects from one skyscraper to the other one, and in the middle is the pool. So if you down below, you can see people's legs dangling in the pool. I ain't getting on that thing. When we take our European trip, I'm not getting up there. I'm not letting nobody get up there because stuff like this makes me worried. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that kind of thing.
Yeah, me neither. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, post your comments down below. Please be sure, if you haven't already done so, we've got 65 people. Let's get 65 likes. Yeah. And do me another favor and turn on the notifications so that you guys don't miss any of these videos. So where we're going to go now, Larry, we got politics. We've got Omar Hardwick. We've got meme stocks. We've even got a story about HBO Max that I was going to save as a bonus.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to say Tressa C asked if I've ever shot a documentary, and I want to say yes, I have. I've shot several. I've worked on some of them as a collaboration when I was at the Smithsonian Channel. So I've shot some of them there. I've shot a number of short documentaries for myself and for friends. I worked on a couple of documentaries with a couple of classmates. Once we graduated, we did one on a boxer who had fallen. He was an Olympic bound boxer who got mixed up in drugs and stuff. So we shot a documentary about his life, and we did another one on gay people who had been married and had, they came out later after they had been married and sort of blew up their life and the lives of the people they were married to. So I've worked on a few of them. So yes. Anyways, let's go ahead and get that. Let's get that Russian story out of our palette with a little bit of Halle Berry.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, super chat if you want, or you can cash out. Right down there it says Life Gains. So you guys are very, very familiar with Omar Hardwick. If you don't remember him from Power, I got a clip for you.
I already went inside for some shit I didn't do, okay? I'm not doing it again. Now, if I say I did it, we all lose. If I'm in Albany, we all win, including you. In case you catch a case for killing Lakeisha.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, let me refresh your memory. I sent you over there, and Lakeisha ended up dead.
You sent me over there, but Tommy blames me.
How the fuck could he not? You pulled the trigger!
So now he has put down being Ghost, and I'm actually happy for the brother, to be honest with y'all, because he's finally getting the pub he needs to do these major box office movies that he wants to do. And he's about to star in one with Netflix, starring Halle Berry, called The Mothership. Let me read it to you guys. It says right here, Power star Omar Hardwick has joined Halle Berry in The Mothership, a sci-fi adventure featuring hailing from MRC Film, Automac, and Netflix. Written and directed by Matt Chairman, the film sees Halle Berry portraying the role of Sarah Morse, a woman picking up the pieces following a mysterious disappearance of her husband when she discovers an extraterrestrial object beneath her farmland home. Sarah and her children race to decipher, and for those of you who don't know what decipher means, it means to find the meaning of, the connection between the strange object and her husband's disappearance. The film will be produced by Fred Berger and Brian Kavanaugh Jones of Automic and executive produced by Danny Stillman. Halle Berry is no stranger to sci-fi, starring as Molly Woods in the short-lived CBS television series Extant. Also, The Mothership isn't the only sci-fi film Berry has starred in. The legendary actors will also star in the upcoming sci-fi Moonfall, which is also slated to premiere February. Also in this movie, Omari Hardwick from Power. Larry, they didn't really talk much about Omari Hardwick, so I'm about to think that he ain't going to get a big role. But how do you think these two pair? I think it's a great pairing because the brother is talented, and I'm glad he held his feet to the fire and decided to leave the Power franchise and spread his wings. But how do you think these two will pair up?
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what type of role he's gonna play. But he seems to be like he's a pretty good actor. The women like looking at him. It's kind of hard to go wrong with that combination. I mean, the dude is undeniably a handsome human being, and he can act. So, I mean,
definitely can act.
I don't, the thing is, I don't really get an idea of what kind of person he is. Like, there are some people you can get, and maybe this is a good thing, but some, you can get an idea of certain people that you say, okay, this is the type of guy you want in this role. This is the type of guy you want in that role. I don't really get a feeling of what type of role he should be in. So maybe he can play anything. And I guess as an actor, that's probably the space you want to live in, because then you truly can play anything. No one's going to try and pigeonhole you and say, oh, you need to be a bad guy, or you need to be a good guy, or you need to be a romantic lead, or you need to be a monster or a superhero. You can just be anything.
Larry, I agree with you. He can do anything. He's classically trained. He went to the same school Chadwick Boseman went to, and then he spent some time on Broadway. So he loves that kind of acting. He can play pretty much anything. He can embody anything. And before he went to acting school, Larry, the boy played a cornerback for Clemson University. So he's just got a doldrum of talent.
They said that he actually would play. He actually was with the San Diego Chargers for a bit, but he had a knee injury which cut his career short.
Right, he did. I mean, he's immensely talented. I'm glad that he's decided, you know what? I love my people, but there's a broad spectrum of people I need to be putting myself in front of so that I can get a little bit more appeal and not just be stuck as one trick pony, in essence, is what he's doing. I'm happy to see him get these roles. If you missed it, he was just in the Netflix zombie film that came out last week. Go check that out, Army of the Dead. Yeah, Army of the Dead. He's in that.
His role wasn't very big, but he was actually good in there.
Yeah, I mean, look, I haven't seen him bad in anything.
Yeah,
I haven't. I haven't seen him bad at anything. So he's just getting his feet wet. Like I said, if we really want to get him on the map, Marvel, give this brother a call. I know some roles he can play.
And here's a funny thing about that. With his role in Army of the Dead, I thought to myself, and I know people are probably not gonna like this, but I was looking at Batista and I was looking at Omari Hardwick, and I thought to myself, if I was the casting agent, I think I would have flipped them. I think I would have said, no, I know you auditioned for this character, but we're going to give you that one instead. Mm-hmm. Because I think he would have been better off as the lead, because not that Batista wasn't okay, but he doesn't have the acting chops that Omari Hardwick does.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, acting to be a WWE wrestler is totally different from acting for the big screen and the little screen in this type of magnitudes. Totally different. It's totally different. Totally different. And Amari
and the other
Hardwick
thing
can
is,
do it.
and I know that Batista's picking up steam and whatnot, but I feel like he's sort of setting himself up for failure a little bit, because he's up there saying that he doesn't want to play certain roles anymore because he doesn't want to take a shirt off. He's saying, he's 50-something years old or whatever, and he doesn't want to take a shirt off. He's self-conscious. I'm thinking to myself, that's why they're hiring you, because you're a big-ass, muscled-up, meathead in a lot of ways. And it doesn't mean that you can't play other roles, but don't limit your money, because, Hollywood's finicky and they're fickle. You might be the end guy, this year or next year, and then in 2 years, no one's calling you, and you're wondering how come the roles dried up.
I don't know if this makes a difference for you, Larry, but honestly, he was the same way in the WWE. He has a big fear of public speaking, and he has a fear of stage fright. And he would talk about in interviews he did how it was very hard for him to muster up the mental fortitude to actually take his clothes off, even though he looked great. He's admitted he used performance enhancers to get where he was at. And maybe I think what's going on with him now is, Larry, when you come off that crap,
right,
it don't matter how hard you work out. The only way you're going to get that same look is if you just diet 24/7, never take no time off from diet. And he's probably like, man, the hell with that. And
he needs to go hang out with Dwayne for a while so he can keep his thing going, because The Rock stays on some thin-skinned steroid juice.
Yeah, he stayed.
He looks like you pick a pin on him, and his whole skin will just peel off.
But I think Batista's at a point where he's, in so many ways, he's saying that he's tired of the life of taking drugs, and he's basically saying it without saying it.
I feel, and and I can respect that. And if he's getting the roles without having to take his shirt off, then do it. Go for it. Keep rolling with it.
Right.
Keep getting these roles. I'll be honest with you. It's one thing if you. He is a known quantity now. He is a name that people are looking for and checking for. And they may not be checking for Omari Hardwick, but I honestly, if I was casting that role, I would have thought to myself, for Omari Hardwick, we know him. People in the black community know him. Not everybody else. I don't feel like he's mainstream yet. He's not a household name yet, but I feel like a movie like that could have been a breakout role for him. And I don't feel like that role was a breakout role for Batista, because he was okay in it, but he was just okay.
I think the thing that really broke it for Batista was actually getting in the Marvel universe, man.
Yeah, he was great. He's great as what is his name?
Drax.
Yeah, Drax. Yeah, he's great as Drax.
If you could get Omari Hardwick into the universe, and I have the perfect character he should be, if you can get him into the universe, man, I think that sky's the limit for him at that point in time. But Larry, Omari's coming. Don't even sweat it. He's on his way. So, ladies and gentlemen, leave your comments, post them below, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. So, where we're going to go at next, Larry? We actually getting through this thing in good time. So, we got HBO Max, we got politics, and we have stocks. Which one you want next?
Let's go with HBO Max.
Okay.
We're going to say the stocks for last, because I know some people want that. We're going to make them stick around to hear it. Okay, so here you go. HBO Max, Larry. One knock that they've had is they're very expensive. They've got a lot of content, and they've done something that a lot of other studios was afraid to do. To say that their movie content that drops in theaters is also going to drop on HBO Max. Now, me and you, we smiled at that because we was like, that's what the hell it should be doing. So now, because they see the writing on the wall that they're probably not going to be able to maintain this after this year is up, Larry, they're deciding to give you a cheaper tier service at $9.99 that's going to be ad supported. Here we go. And this just made me roll my eyes. And I'm going to give you my diatribe when I'm done reading this. The new subscription option costs $9.99, pricing it competitively with other streaming services.
and some premium add-ons. Non-ad version comes at $14.99, which is a bit more expensive than the likes of Netflix, Disney Plus, but Warner Brothers catalog does speak for itself. Not your superhero movies. If you're considering the $9.99 ad-supported version, don't worry, the advertising will be intrusive. Fret not. Warner Brothers has confirmed that for every hour of content consumed, viewers won't get no more than 4 minutes worth of ads. Hell, that's a lot. 4 minutes? I'm sorry, but if you're paying for something, 4 minutes of, come on, man. Which is quite a conservative number when compared to traditional cable advertisement models. Unfortunately, the $9.99 ad-supported version of HBO Max doesn't offer the 2021 day and date pledge, meaning you won't be able to check out the Suicide Squads at home the day it hits cinemas. It's unfortunate, but a wise idea would be to switch up to the subscription option and upgrades for months where you can see the latest Warner Brothers. All this new ad-supported version will capture an entirely new audience, and it is here now. Well, Larry, I will say this. I'm going to give them an A for trying to give people options. Right. I'm going to give them an A for at least making it where you still can get the in-theater movies at the higher tier. I support that. I'm fine with that.
Right.
This is where I'm going to give them a B at. It has always bothered me that you pay for cable, but then you having to watch commercials for something you already paying for. Yeah. It has always bothered me that you pay for a WWE pay-per-view and now they putting fucking ads in it. Mm-hmm. You bought it because you didn't want the ads, but now they're putting the ads in it. And so at the very least, I will give HBO Max credit for trying to scale back a little bit. But I feel like, you know what, man, if you're going to charge $10, maybe limit your catalog instead of making it ad supported versus giving someone 4 minutes of ads. And we don't know how they're going to, they might do the ads every 15 minutes. They might make you watch 2 minutes every 30 minutes. Who knows how they're going to do the ads? But I'm really not with having ads for something you pay for, which is one of the reasons why I cut the cord a long time ago. What's your thoughts, my brother?
Yeah, I feel like they're doing the same thing that not Netflix, Hulu's doing, where they're giving you two different tiers, where you have one tier, you know, that's ad free if you pay more, and then you pay less if you're willing to deal with the ads. And that seems the way that a lot of places are going. But what really, like, for me, I would be okay with that if all the content was the same. But for me, the problem is that if they're going to give you sort of a cheaper, less robust version of the app where you don't get the day and date stuff, that seems to me to be unfortunate, because there's going to be a lot of people who don't understand that. There's going to be a lot of people who think, oh, okay, I can deal with a few ads and I'll be able to get everything. And they're going to go pay their $9.99 thinking they're going to watch Suicide Squad and Wonder Woman 1984 and all that, and then it's not going to be there. They're going to be like, what in the Sam Hill's going on? Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. I think the ads are okay if they can bring the day and date stuff. I would really like to see them continue to bring the day and date stuff. And in fact, I would be okay, and I know this is going to sound blasphemous, but I would be okay with the $14.95 current price tag that they have, or $17.99, whatever it is. I'd be okay with that current price tag if they continue to bring the day and date stuff. I'd be okay with that price tag with ads if they continue to bring the day and date stuff.
With ads? With
that, now, mind you, I don't want to see ads in the middle of my movie. I'm okay with ads before it. I'm okay with ads after it. So if you want to roll pre-roll ads, or if you want to do post-roll, I'm okay with that. I just don't want to be my movie experience interrupted with ads.
I would rather them just charge $20 and let that be the premium tier, no ads. And from now, as long as you own the service, movies that hit the theater, you also get them at home too.
Yeah, but not everybody can afford $20, and so some people who are not going to be able to afford that.
Well, keep the $14 tier that you're talking about, and stick the ads in there that you were talking about.
No, that's exactly what I was saying. I'm okay if they did that. So what you're saying is you still want an ad-free version. You're willing to pay for a higher, a higher amount for ad-free version. And I'm saying that I'm okay with them doing the same dollar amount now with ads if they continue to bring the day and date. I don't want to have them say, okay, we're going to add ads in there, but you don't get the day and date, because that to me is going to mean a lot of customers are going to be upset when they think they're going to get the latest movies and then they don't get them because they're told they're on the wrong tier.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. HBO Max now has a $9.99 tier, but you have to suffer through 4 minutes of ads per every hour. And we have
that's
a super
lot,
chat.
Man. That's 8 minutes of ads for a 2-hour movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, do you think about that? Think about that if you watch Zack Snyder's joint, which is 4 hours long. You're talking about almost 30 minutes worth of ads to watch that movie. You're talking about what was it? Well, not 30 minutes. You're talking about 16 minutes of ads to watch a 4 hour. That's a lot of damn ads. And I don't know how they're going to run those ads. I don't know if they're running those ads during the movie because I can tell you right now, I don't want to watch a movie and right in the middle of it before they hit a battle scene, all of a sudden now I'm watching a damn, pampering commercial or a Advil commercial or a yogurt commercial.
Or somebody eating yogurt, smiling and shit, having a good time eating their yogurt, jumping through the air, taking pictures and happy. I don't want to see that. But Larry, we got a super chat.
It'll take you out of the experience.
Yep. We've got a super chat from Louisiana, George Wood. We appreciate it, and let us give you something. Since we're going to probably hit politics next, let us give you this one.
I represent the rent is too damn high party. Playing the silly game, but it's not going to happen. The rent too damn high movement. The people I'm here to represent can't afford to pay their rent. Listen, someone's stomach, child's stomach just growled. Did you hear it? Rent is too damn high. I represent the rent is too.
Somebody get that guy in Congress quick. I appreciate that, Lizanna. George Wood, we are very grateful. We do these when we get super chats like that. It's always an opportunity for us to try to network with our subscribers, get them up here, network with other YouTubers. You guys are paving the way for others, and we push it down. So, Larry, I guess
I want to address a comment in the comments section. Muchello was asking, what happens if you subscribe to HBO channel? Is it the same? Actually, Muchello, if you subscribe to the HBO channel, it's a better deal because most people, if you have cable TV, to subscribe to HBO is usually, if you pay full price, is like $10 a month. But generally, if you contact your cable company, they can get you on a discount. Either they'll get you something where it's free for a number of months, or you can maybe get it for $5 a month or something. You can usually get it for a very, very discounted rate. I don't think I've ever paid full price for HBO. And once you have HBO on your cable subscription, you get HBO Max for free. So, if you already have cable and you were thinking about paying separate to get HBO Max, it's a better deal just to add HBO onto your cable package.
Sound like a plan to me. Well, for those of you that are squeamish, it's politics time.
Here we go.
It's politics time. Instead of doing something that helps the country on Juneteenth, shout out to Buzz, something like what California is doing, which is California has established a task force to study and calculate slavery reparations for blacks. Instead of doing that, you've got places like Georgia, Florida, Iowa, Nevada, Montana, and here's the latest. Texas is putting up these restrictive ass bills to make voting more restrictive, which is the complete opposite of democracy. Take a look at what they're doing. Then me and Larry, as we always do, will break it down.
To Texas and the restrictive new voting legislation now on hold. Dramatic moments just before midnight as Democrats in the State House walked out of the chamber, keeping the Republican-sponsored bill from a final vote for now. Here's ABC's Kenneth Moten.
Tonight, the fight is not over in Texas. State House Republicans failing to pass one of the most restrictive voting bills in the country. In a surprise move, Democrats walking out of the chamber in the middle of the night to prevent a vote.
Essentially, it looks to me like the Democrats left the House floor.
The Democratic Caucus Chair Chris Turner sent a text message to spread the plan. Members, take your key and leave the chamber discreetly. Do not go to the gallery. leave the building.
We know what those bills are aimed at. They're aimed at making it harder for all Texans, but especially Texans of color, to cast a ballot. That is wrong.
Now, GOP Governor Greg Abbott is threatening to not pay lawmakers, tweeting he'll veto funds for the legislative branch. No pay for those who abandon their responsibilities. Stay tuned. Over the weekend, late night, closed-door GOP negotiations. The rules suspended to rush the voting bill to the Senate floor for a vote. The sweeping, massive legislation bans drive-through voting, restricts mail-in ballots, adding a new ID requirement, and pushes back early voting hours on Sunday, when many black churchgoers vote. The bill also makes it easier for a judge to overturn an election if there are allegations of fraud. Republicans in Texas insist it's about restoring confidence after the 2020 election. More than a dozen GOP-led states have already approved restrictive voting laws after former President Trump's false claims of widespread election fraud.
And with tonight, Texas GOP Governor Greg Abbott is digging in, promising to bring back legislators for a special session, saying that voting bill must pass.
Boy. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a term in the black community called souls to the polls, where black people on day of service would go early in the morning and vote. That's a tradition that has been done pretty much in all the southern states. And that was something that we've seen some horrific attacks on black people on those Sunday mornings that happened in Tennessee, that happened in Georgia, and happened in Louisiana during the Jim Crow era. And now things that was popping up in the Jim Crow era are starting to come back now. First and foremost, let me address Governor Abbott talking about not paying legislators. Let me put this damn tweet up right here. Put this shit up right here. He says, no pay for those who abandon their responsibilities. Stay tuned. My question to him on that was, what the hell? Cruz, when natural disaster, his ass went to Paris, Mexico, wherever the hell he went at, and tried to pretend like he was going for his daughters. I've been saying we need to restrict lawmakers' fringe benefits to compel them to do the will of the people. And I've been saying we need to get lobbyists and dirty money out of politics. But I'm going to digress. Let's get back to the bill at hand. Here's another ticker for you, Larry. The bill bans drive-through ballots. Who does that hurt? It hurts your damn grandparents. And especially our people in our community. Because we suffer the most traumatic health disparities that keep us from being able to be mobile. So that's one issue. Next, restrict mail-in ballots and adds new ID requirement. The fuck? First of all, the mail-in ballot was predominantly put in place for the military. So are you going to have a special provision for them outside of your normal people that live in Texas? Sounds pretty hogwashy to me. And first of all, secondly, how are military people going to actually come and show an ID if they're in Afghanistan for 6 years? So that's stupid, number two. Here's another one, Larry, then I'm going to give you the floor. Push back early voting and hours on Sunday. Larry, right now, some of these same states that was on that list are eliminating unemployment that's supposed to last to September because these people need to get their asses back out there and work. And there's two problems with that, Larry. Number one, childcare, because there are a lot of single-parent homes. And number two, no one should be going back to a job after dealing with Corona that is paying you less or equal to unemployment in the first place. The fucking incentive should be that you're going to make more to go back to work. And with this very ticker you're putting in this bill right here, that is restricting some of those same people who fit those income brackets I just mentioned. And last but not least, Larry, take a look at this. Makes it easier for a judge to overturn elections if allegations of fraud. Man, I can't with this. So in their state, which has never had a Democratic-controlled federal judgeships, never in Texas, what the hell you think is going to happen? Having said those things, Larry, I give you the floor.
I mean, it's really just a shame because it's so anti-American what they're doing. It's not even just a matter of saying, oh, they're just going after black people, they're going after brown people, which they clearly are. But what they're doing is just so anti-American, you know. And it like Trusted C says, this is all election aftermath, and it is normally what happens. And I was listening to someone. I'm not going to take credit for this paraphrasing, but somebody today I was listening to on TV today, they said normally what happens is when an election happens and one party loses, they say usually they go back to the drawing board, they look at their policies, they look at some of their candidates, and they make changes to the policy, they make changes to the candidate. And instead they were like, what the Republican Party's trying to do is they're trying to change the voters instead of trying to change the policies.
They're trying to shrink the voters. They're trying to shrink the voters and not coming up with ideas to garner new voters. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, they should be trying to expand they should be trying to expand and get more people on with their way of thinking. But what they realize is they cannot get more people with their way of thinking, because what their way of thinking is white supremacist, often anti-American, and just asinine in a lot of ways. And because not only did many Americans who voted for Trump before vote for Joe Biden and the Democrats this time, but the Democrats also went out there and got 8 million new voters. 8 million new voters. That's a lot of doggone people, you know? So they're basically what they're trying to do is to say, we don't want participation. We don't want participation in the electoral process. So we're going to make it as difficult for you as possible. I mean, they're talking about in Texas, I think it's in Houston, where it's like Harrison County or something. They limited the drop box to one single drop box in a county that has 5 million people.
That's just
5 million people, and they limited the county, the ballot drop box to one single drop box. That is, first of all, that's just simply not safe. Because if you go out there and you go to the drop box and it's filled up and people are shoving the thing in there and then it starts overflowing, then you run the risk of people missing out on their votes, you know? And you may not know. Maybe there are votes for the Democrats, maybe there are votes for Republicans. You don't know. But it's shameful. What should happen is you try and get it so that everyone can vote. Because the reality of it is, when you look, it looked like it was a landslide. The election, when you look at the electoral college, it looked like a landslide because Joe Biden won by a lot of electoral votes. But when you look at the actual results, it was a very narrow election. And if they were to really do what they should be doing, which is to simply say, we're going to go out there and try to expand our base, they would have a greater likelihood of winning. But instead, they're doing all the shenanigans. And I think what's going to happen is that you're going to have a lot of people, you're going to have a lot of Americans are going to see this and they're going to say, no, this is anti-American and I don't support it. And I think they're going to suffer some serious backlash from this.
I hope so. I hope so, because the very people, Larry, the very Republicans that used to drape themselves in a flag, take baths in water that's red, white, and blue, talk about God and country, they played their hand. That shit is just bull jive to try to propaganda you to bend to the will of their voting power. That shit is bull jive. They've been lying. The same people that claim they love the military. This bill is putting a chokehold on what the ones we claim we love so much and thank you for your service and all that bull jive. You're causing an issue for them with this voting bill. And then last thing, and then we'll move on, Larry. It's like this. We claim that this country is an experiment. It's a great experiment in democracy that has given us the power to be ahead. These people are telling you right now they don't want that. They're telling you they want to be a country of dictators. Now they might get on Parler and Reddit and swear up and down they want freedom and all, but they're not. They don't want that. And the Republican Party is shrinking, just like Buzz said, and they're trying to put everything in place so that the minorities can rule and the majorities don't. And that is anti-democratic. Simple as that.
And here's the scary thing about all of this is that, you know, Russia has had their hands in this for a very long time, as far as getting out there with all of their internet hackers, all their psyop stuff, where they're basically trying to wedge gaps between Americans and cause more divisiveness. And they've been doing it. And the people that are out there, Putin and his cronies, they haven't forgot about how America basically spent Russia into, or not spent Russia, but spent the Soviet Union into breaking up. We had an arms race and they lost, and caused the dismantling and the fall of the Soviet Union. They haven't forgot that. They're still angry about it. And
Larry, I'm gonna add this to what you're saying. They hated Mikhail Gorbachev for the way he was palling around with Ronald Reagan. They hated him. And to this day, you still have people claiming that Putin, who was a KGB member at the time, had something to do with how Gorbachev died.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I would not be at all surprised. But the thing is that you have people in this country now that have fallen prey to that, and they align themselves more ideology wise with Russians and with the Russian way of thought, and instead of with Americans and American democracy. And so, you know, in a lot of ways, our democracy is already dead. And the reason why I say that is because right now you have a former president who's up there saying he didn't lose, that this is all, this has all been stolen from him, and the media is calling it the big lie. So he's out there promoting the big lie. And something like 50-60% of Republicans believe the big lie. Out there.
Larry, did you hear the latest big lie?
Which is?
He's going to be reinstated in August.
Yes, I heard that ridiculousness today, that he's supposed to be reinstated in August. So all this stuff is crazy. But the problem with this is that because you have all these people, this mass amount of people that don't believe in the results of a true fairly democratic election, what happens is that when 2024 comes and we have our next election, if Joe Biden and the Democrats win, the people on the right are going to feel like this is illegitimate, that the election was stolen again, and he shouldn't be there, and they're going to be angry, and they're going to want to fight. And if the Republicans win, the Democrats are going to be like, this is bullshit. It's only this way because they set up all these restrictive voting laws that are unconstitutional, and they have the Russians working on their behalf as well. No matter what, the election's going to be looked at as illegitimate because both sides are going to think the other side's cheating. And in one respect, the left actually has a legitimate reason to feel that the right is cheating, because they have already. And they've already cheated with Russia. They're already cheated. They're cheating what they treated with them in 2016. With they treated. In 2016 they cheated again in 2020, and now they're up there trying to pass all these restrictive laws that are unconstitutional, and they're probably timing this out so that they can get the laws passed so that they can't even be contested in the Supreme Court until it's too late.
Not to mention all the gerrymandering they do.
Exactly. So the problem is you're going to have both sides saying that the elections are illegitimate, which is basically the way democracies die.
It's exactly how they die. And we're living through this experiment right now. I don't know, man. I try not to get too bogged down in this, but the Democrats, we need to chastise them too, because right now they have the power to change a lot of this stuff if they would get rid of that damn filibuster. And the whole Democratic Party is being held up by Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema, who said, no way, no how are they going to do that. And I'm sitting up here like, okay, first, you're saying no way, no how, when we tried to get a commission to investigate the insurrection, and that's not important enough. That was a direct threat to government. And then Biden is trying to slip them in to get rid of the filibuster because he understands what the hell is going on with the Supreme Court and passing a bill that will prevent these states from doing this restrictive voting bull jive. And so at the same time as Democrats scratch their heads when they get these ass whips, it's because sometimes you guys allow this stuff to happen because you don't fight as dirty as they fight. And then what I'm talking about, getting rid of the filibuster, that's not dirty fighting. That's fighting with the power that you currently have. And they need to make that happen. It just needs to happen.
And if you don't want to get rid of it outright, there are other things that you can do. You can suspend it. You can require that filibusters are done, and you can require standing filibusters. Is what most of us, when we think of the filibuster, we think of it and visualize it as a standing filibuster, where you have to go out there on the floor of the House or the floor of the Senate. We're talking about the Senate in this case. You have to go to the Senate, and you have to stand up there. And you have to talk and talk and talk and talk for hours. And it used to be that it was the point of ridiculousness where you would have senators up there wearing diapers, and they would get up there and they would read bedtime stories, and they would recite the national anthem. Some people would get up there and read Bible verses. There was a guy that got up there and read Curious George books. That you just have to keep talking and talking and talking. And if they want to do a standing filibuster, do it. Other than that, they need to just go ahead and get rid of it if they're not, because if they can't, like the way they do it now, they don't even have to be present. They can hold it up in committee. And so, the current form of the filibuster needs to go. And if they can't get back to the old standing filibuster, then they just need to get rid of it outright.
Get rid of it. It has been this filibuster has been the destruction of so many women's rights bills, so many black people bills, so many civil rights bills, so many workers' unions bills, the things that keep the average person equal in society. Filibuster has been the undoing of a lot of those things, and it just needs to go. And trust us, see, me and my wife have actually talked about what it will be like to move to Canada, because she's from Detroit, which is just a bridge away from Canada, and the city next to Detroit is Windsor. And damn near it's basically America without some of the bull jive.
And your wife's a doctor. She can go anywhere. It doesn't matter what country you want to go to. They will take her.
Just like that. And I'll be right there with Baby L, still making money in the stock market, owning real estate, and doing YouTube. Here we go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that have been sticking around for stocks, we have finally made it here. And the focus of this particular clip we're going to talk about is AMC.
Oh, look at that. We're out of time, everyone. We're going to have to pick this up on Friday. I'm just messing with you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. We're not going to be able to do this with you guys until the trading is over on Friday. Now, here we go. Here it is. AMC and what's going on.
Jarian is on the phone now. We were trying to get him on. Pete, you have calls. New calls, I think, in AMC, right? Talk to me about what you're doing, what you're seeing. 74% gain for AMC as I look at my fact set over here. 76%.
Yeah.
If we keep talking, it may just keep going to the moon.
It could. Well, tactically, I think what we're seeing here is that this whole phenomenon that started in January, and AMC, by the way, was a part of it in January. It wasn't just GameStop. The one difference was, and I heard Joe talking about the short interest, there was a huge discrepancy there, though, because with GameStop, you're talking about a couple of 100% of the short was in place. And this was about a 20% short. Yeah, it's moved up a little bit, so you can see that there is some players in there getting involved and trying to be active and maybe defending positions to some degree. I mean, that could be a possibility. I would agree with Joe, though. I don't know why you'd want to fight this when you've watched and witnessed what happened with GameStop, and we all watched the price that absolutely just skyrocketed at one point. We were well over $400 a share with that short squeeze. So there is an incredible short squeeze here now. Obviously, it started a couple of probably 3 or 4 sessions ago. We traded over 3 million contracts last Thursday. And that was with the stock just making that, compared to the moves that we are seeing the last couple of days, that was a pretty minor move to the upside. Now we've seen this extraordinary moves to the upside, and the volumes continue to be there, Scott.
Yeah.
They continue to buy out-of-the-money calls. I'll give you one last thing.
Because I'm going to come back to you with something. I want to come back. Well, let me ask you this now.
Sure.
Forgive me for jumping in. You say I don't know why you would want to fight this thing, obviously, but do you want to join this thing? I mean, look, I don't know how our viewers are thinking about this, who's involved and who's not, and what you're thinking about a stock that was up, 20 some odd % earlier and 40% when we got on the air, and now it's doubled from there, and it's up 85% on the day. I don't know what the advice is, Pete.
Well, I would give you one piece of advice. I think the stock positioning is very, very dangerous, and people have to understand what exactly those risks are. I think the one thing that stands out for me, and I mentioned last Thursday, traded 3.5 million, almost 3.5 million contracts. We've traded nearly 2 million contracts yesterday in AMC as well. So the volumes have been there on the derivative side, Scott. And the great thing, at least I think, in the derivatives world is you can put on a position and know exactly how much money you can lose.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the meme stocks. I'm going to just go ahead and tell y'all up front. Let me pull up my portfolio. At this point, only put money in AMC you're willing to lose. So if you want to go buy 1 or 2 shares and hope it makes it up to $200, feel free. If you want to put a call on it, they're very expensive right now. I wouldn't even do that. If I were you, the best play that I would do would be to get on some of the other meme stocks, your costs. Beyond Meat, they've made that a meme stock now. I'm hearing them talking about Tesla might become a meme stock again. But this is a clear situation of FOMO. Now let's go over here and take a look at the statistics on AMC. Now, what I didn't tell anyone except for Larry, I bought a call on AMC back when it was $10 in January. And guess when my call expires, Larry?
When?
Friday.
Man.
So anyone that knows me knows I always say, you don't go broke taking profits. I jumped out of this ship yesterday because it was up. It was up to like 40 some odd dollars. And I was like, I'm good. You don't even think of the call I put into this, ladies and gentlemen. I got in at 10 and got out at 40. That was a lot of money. And
that's nice.
And when you come and you look at, let's look at the trade option data for those of you thinking about getting in it. Let me break some things down for you. So you come in here and we're going to look at the strike price just below the share price, which is $68. This number right here is what I teach anybody who's doing trades you have to be afraid of. Do you see that, Larry? You see that?
That's insane, man. That is nuts.
You don't want to touch that. Now, you could touch it if you're someone who might want to buy a put. But here's the problem. We've seen with these meme stocks that when these guys really want to put their foot on the gas, they can hold a stock for at least 3 to 4 months. And so I would not want to do a put right now unless you got enough cash to do a put that's going to last you for 6 months. And who can afford that? So Larry, let's take a look at what it would be to buy a put on this stock, meaning that you think the stock is going to go down. It's going to cost you, it's going to cost you $1,400 just to get that put. Just to get that put till Friday. That's just till Friday. Let's say you want to get the put till, let's say, like I said, you want to always do these for 6 months out, okay? It's going to cost you $3,600 to buy a put that lasts that long. And now, granted, if it goes back down, hey, if it gets back to $28, you made some money. But my thing is these stocks are just way too risky. And I would not tell anyone to do this unless you just got money to blow. Having said that, you can check out some of these other meme stocks like this one. This is a meme stock that has been going up. And it was in the group earlier. As you can see, in the last week, this stock has gone up $19.
Wow.
Little bit cheaper than AMC right now, but still has the same daggone momentum. It is a meme stock.
Check out BlackBerry.
BlackBerry ain't a meme stock.
It's about to be.
No, it's not.
It's on its way up.
Let me check out BlackBerry. BlackBerry ain't no meme stock. They don't
look at it.
I'm looking at it. And in the last
week,
it
went up 13. What was it at?
It went up $6. It went up $6
in the last week. 61%.
Hey, but it's not a meme stock though. I mean, look, if y'all want to follow Larry, down that primrose path.
No, I'm not saying buy it. I'm just saying I think it's going to be one of those stocks that's going up like that. And I'm not telling anybody to get in. I'm just saying for me, I actually own BlackBerry, so I'm holding on to mine because I think it's going that direction.
Now, what am I personally waiting on? This is what always happens too. So for my crypto investors, what I've seen is whenever the meme stocks go up, crypto goes up right beside it. Because Larry, can you remember? You remember because I called you for this one. Do you remember when the meme stocks was going up and I was like, Larry, check out Riot. Do you see what Riot is doing? Yeah. Riot went through the moon. So did crypto. So what did your boy do? Your boy, while crypto was on the cheap, I went right on down here and got me a Bitcoin at 32K, and right now it's sitting at 37. So nice. And this is not the only one that went up. Ethereum went up and Bitcoin Cash went up if you don't want to go and spend 40 grand to get a whole Bitcoin like I did. So ladies and gentlemen,
what is Riot at right now?
Riot is a discount. I think they're about $30, something like that.
Yeah, they were low for a while. They were in the 20s, I think. They had dropped down.
Yeah, they done gone back up. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is just proving my theory. Whenever the meme stocks go up, crypto tends to go through the moon too. So in the last week, Riot has gone up about a good $1, which is fine because it was at $72. And I think, Larry, when did you bail on it? When it got to 60?
On Riot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sold some of Riot at like 55 or something like that, and I sold some more of it at like 47. I think I sold my last bit of it at like 47.
Okay. Me and my boy Howard, we got out at 60. We had 100 shares and we went on ahead and got on out at $60 because we bought in at $7. We got in at $7 and we was like, nope. And we got out. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm always trying to see you guys make these gains in your stocks. And whenever you see that implied volatility that damn high, unless this is play money, don't mess with it. Unless you got insider information, don't mess with it. And I'll show you one more thing you can look at to kind of help you if you're going to be someone who's going to get in and get out. Let's go back to AMC again. And let's just pull up the chart. So let's expand this and let's look at this chart. So we can see the volumes, we can see the MACD and all that good stuff. So what I'm looking at now is the RSI and the MACD. And whenever the RSI is above 75, that is a signal for you to sell, meaning you get out. Whenever this RSI gets down below, typically they say below 30, but I'll do 35. When it gets down below 35 and it crosses the MACD, which is this red and blue line down here, when they cross, those are perfect times to get in if the RSI is 35 or less. The RSI on this thing, it ain't got no lower. Let's see, it got to 49, 57, 46, 50. It didn't even get in. It didn't even sniff the brow of 30 anything. So if you're going to get in this stock, wait for the RSI volume to get down to about 35 and check your implied volatility. And if that's still high, but the RSI is low, if you want to jump in, but you need to be sitting right by the computer because the minute that RSI gets up to 70, you need to be getting out with whatever you done gained. And that is your life gain on the stocks today. Big Larry, what else you looking at? I bought some dividend stocks today. I told Larry, and I did a video earlier this year, that because we have seen the run in tech, I was encouraging people to just shore themselves up with great growth dividend stocks. And so today I bought ET, which is Energy Transfer. I bought some Coca-Cola, and I got Verizon, and I got MPW, which is Medical Properties Trust. All of them pay at least a 5% gain dividend each month, and I shored myself up on those today.
Oh, I like ET. ET's only what, $10 a share?
$10 a share, 7% dividend. Matter of fact,
like
let me slide on down here and show these people what it looked like. So let's see here. All this junk in here. Okay, here we go. Energy Transfer, $10 a share. And as you can see, it pays a 7.4% dividend. Price to earnings is 8.26. And whenever you're evaluating a stock, you want to make sure the price to earning is as low as possible without being in the negative. Can't get no lower than 8.6.
Yeah, I like that.
It's a good stock,
I think I might grab some of that.
You should. And when you check the history over the last 5 years, it lost $1.24, but that's because they didn't break their streak of increasing the dividends. So they're paying you that money each and every month. But in the last year, they've gone up $2 and maintained escalating dividends. And then the last piece you can come down here and check is their earnings. And as you can see, they're a profitable company because they're greater than zero, and they didn't meet estimates the last time, but they did here. And so that's the most important thing you can look at. What is the last couple of earnings a company has put out? And if it at least ties earnings and goes up, you in the good. And that is your Life Gain stock technology introduction lesson for today.
We have a couple people asking about a couple of stocks in here. Someone was asking about Roblox.
Oh, and yeah, definitely buy. Roblox is a long-term hold.
Did you buy any?
I still haven't gotten any yet because what happened with me when it first dropped, I was nowhere near a computer to get shares. And it just went to like $75, $80 immediately. So I've been waiting for it to get back into the 80s. That's what I've been waiting for it to do. And when it does, I'm going to buy some. But there's never a bad time to buy Roblox. It's still under $100. And I'm definitely going to get some on the next pullback because that's a long-term stock. That thing could be Google. That thing could be Google in 10 years. I'm talking $2,000 a share.
Yeah, I got some early.
Uh-oh.
Baby coming in?
Oh, boy. I hear somebody who, hey, baby. Hey. Oh, come on, baby. This is a good time to exit. Come on, baby. Come on, daddy's little twin. Hey, you want to come over here and let the people see you? Giving them the Eddie Murphy smile. You're going to take the shield and scoot away? Hey, baby. Okay, well, y'all pretty much know whenever the baby comes,
time to go.
It's basically time to go. Hey, baby, and you live and in person too. Hey, the people.
I did want to ask you about one stock, Lamont.
What's that?
Because I know you had said you had bought Sundial a while ago.
I did.
And you bought it, I think you said at like 90 cents a share or something like that?
90 cents, yep.
Are you going to keep it or are you going to sell it?
Keeping it.
Okay.
And I got 200 shares.
Yeah, I should have bought more. I bought 100 shares, but I think as I told you before, I bought my 100 shares at 19 cents a share. So I kind of wish at the time when I saw them, I almost bought 1,000 shares and I said, I'm not going to do that. That's just nuts. But at 19 cents, I should have done it. It would have been what, $190?
Oh man, you would have been in the good, for a little while. But here's something else I noticed with them too. Whenever the meme stocks go up, the weed stocks go up. So I'm glad you brought that up. So whenever the meme stocks go up, weed goes up, cryptocurrency goes up. Hey, baby. Hey, you gonna speak to the people tonight? Hey. Gotcha, big baby. Gotcha. That's Uncle Larry. See Uncle Larry? That's me and you. Well, people, that's Thanos snapping her finger, and she said, "Daddy, it's time for you to get out of here." So that's gonna do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe to Larry's channel, turn on our notifications. You guys can always hit us up on Instagram in the DMs if you want to talk a little bit about stocks, current events, anything we cover. We will be back on Friday, and we probably bring the lovely ladies of Life Game back then. Oh, Lord, she's about to press a button. And until the next Sexy as Hell video, we'll see you guys.
Peace.
Peace out.